Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 34 of NFL Draft Analysis by Sideline Specialists. We're doing a big one here. We're doing a big one here. So, the second receiver off the board in this year's draft, Malik Nabers, second only to Marvin Harrison Jr., of course, to the New York Giants. So, this is gonna be an easy one. I'm not gonna lie. Um, this he is young too. This young man is very impressive. He only turns 21 in about 2 months. So the Giants are not only getting somebody who appears to be very polished, extremely talented, athletically gifted. He also has like the age on his side as well. You can get somebody this good and have potentially more longevity, barring injury. I mean, that's massive. So, where to even start? So, 6 feet, 200. Obviously, went to LSU. Definitely helped LSU be competitive this year. We'll read the little profile thing. We're going to paraphrase it a little bit. He moves differently compared to even the best of other college football receivers. His ability to accelerate while changing direction gives him a high ceiling. Obviously, that's a huge deal, right? To make cuts in routes or when you have the ball, always a great thing to have in your bag. We're just gonna go down here. We're gonna do strengths, weaknesses, and all this. And this is what I like. He actually has a player comp. Um, I don't know if any of you remember a guy named Antonio Brown, pre CTE, pre Vontez Burfict, attempted murder hit. Um, he was otherworldly. So if Malik Nabers can even come close to that, then the Giants absolutely made the right selection at pick number 6. So we'll go over strengths, short area explosiveness and control. Remind everyone of an elite corner, which is like if you can have that on the offensive side of the ball, that's amazing. Footwork is lightning quick. He can get defenders turned around immediately off the snap. Again, anything you can do to have defenders off balance, off kilter, or unsure is just a massive bonus, right? You can be an amazing football player and maybe you'll win at the catch point 80-ish% of the time. Let's say you're that good, right? Like that would be incredible. To be able to just be away from the corner who's covering you immediately because your cuts and your athleticism and agility are that good is special. Um, and then, as we see here, the very next one, elite separation, athleticism, acceleration ability while changing direction is rare. Is a consistent vertical threat from the outside or the slot. The weaknesses are things that can totally improve, and I will touch on why they will improve at some point in this video. Maybe after we actually look at this, we'll do that next, then we'll jump into the highlights. But hands are too low at the snap, and when getting into his route, he will often lose first contact because of it. Obviously, you don't want that. If you have these separation abilities, it would be even better to have strong first contact so that when you do break off, you yourself as the receiver are not the one off balance. Any advantage you can give yourself on a play-to-play basis to win, you have to do that. So could add even more nuance manipulation in his routes, relies on elite change of direction ability right now, will be unstoppable if he can attack leverage and manipulate coverage with more subtlety. Agreed. Could attack the ball better in the air, lets it come into his body too often. I've said this in the other receiver videos I've done. If you go into the NFL and you can shore up your ability to catch with just your hands, like body catches will happen sometimes. Like if you're getting a ball in a tight window and you know you're going to get hit in 0.2 of a second, let that shit go into your body and just hold on. In those instances, it makes perfect sense. Like if you know you're not even going to have the opportunity to make a run after the catch, just hold the ball. However, if if you are open, it is so much better for you to just catch with your hands, and then you can bring it to your body in either one of those hands and already be in motion based on your first read as you're coming down. And if literally his weaknesses all just point out, like if he actually gets this, this, and this right, he will be a horrifying receiver to cover. Over on player traits, we see route running is a 9, vertability and long speed is a 9, release and footwork is a 9, hands are an 8, and again the hands are just are only an 8 because he does catch with his body more. Change of direction, acceleration is a 10. I don't know how long it'll be until we see another 10 in that stat. I know there's not another receiver, I think, in this entire draft class with that stat. And then the change of direction flexibility is a 9. Everything about his change of direction and speed out of breaks is just ungodly. Run after catch contact, 9. That's huge. But again, it's the same deal, right? If he comes down cleanly with a ball and the defender's not even within 5 yards yet, that defender might not touch him. Even if the guy has the right angle, he might not touch him. Play strength blocking. Obviously, his game is not strength. His game is speed and agility. He could work on that. And again, like I said, we will discuss why potentially it is getting worked on. Competitive toughness of an 8. We'll see that go up a little bit. 8's good. 9 would be better. All right, let's move down to his 3-year data in college. So 2021, as a freshman, you see a 70 grade, which as a freshman, that is perfectly respectable. There's no knock I can possibly have for that. 220 snaps, only 2 of them were not in the slot, which, yeah, that's actually very impressive. 29 catches on 47 targets, 430 yards, 14.8 yards per catch for 4 tuds. Going to his sophomore year here in 2022, grade goes up by a good amount, 7.5 total points, 414 snaps now, so we've added almost 200 snaps. He's getting a lot more outside looks. Great. 179 in the slot, 72 catches on 100 targets, 1,017 receiving yards, 14.1 yards per catch for 3 touchdowns. And then we come to last year, which is why he was the 6th overall pick, because when you just see improvement occurring year after year and culminating in a year of this caliber, it cannot be ignored. A 92.9 grade, 431 snaps, 241 out of the slot, 89 catches on 128 targets for 1,568 yards in college. 17.6 yards per catch for 14 end zone trips. Those are impressive numbers from any angle. They just are. We're going to come on down here. Receiving grade versus single coverage. That will be 100 because single coverage versus him, he will have some ability in his bag, whether that be his change of direction, his just overall speed. Literally those 2 things alone. He has everything he needs to beat single coverage. Yards per route run being a 97. Fantastic. 93 versus zone. Again, that's very, very good. Separation percent versus single coverage. This goes back to that his hands being low off snap, so he loses that first contact a lot. That's what he has to work on because he could give himself separation a lot more, and he already gets separation a good amount. Open target percent is 64. Same deal. He has to, and this is another with the catching with the body thing too. If he is posturing, if he's going to slow down posture to catch it with his body instead of going further and catching like with his hands, you know what I mean? Like just simple shit like that. None of this is like crazy hard to fix. It's just technique. We'll go down to this. He did have 5 drops. He had a shit ton of targets, to be fair. A lot more than a lot of guys in college. But did have 5 drops. Got to work on that. Like a 5.3% drop rate, like every like 19 targets, he would have a drop. That is a bit much. Like we have to bring that down. And I don't want to sound like that asshole who just needs to remind everybody that Daniel Jones is the QB for the Giants, but if he has the same kind of problems that he did last year and the throws aren't perfect, you know what I mean? This is one of those things, like things work together, and obviously that's got to be worked on. So, missed tackles, he forced 30 missed tackles. That put him fourth in the nation. Incredible. Average depth of target 12.2 yards. I get that, because his speed is so game-breaking that you can give him these shorter catches and just let him make shit happen after the catch. Totally get that. Sorry. 19 deep catches for second in the nation. 624 deep yards. Holy shit. For third in the nation. Yeah, this guy just has some numbers that are really just like, they just pop, right? So let's go ahead and discover what his bread and butter was. That almost rhymed in a weird way. So corner routes, 4 catches for 26.25 yards per catch. That's excellent. No tuds on those, but that's fine. 7 and 9 on crossers, 90 yards. That's a reliable first down getter right there. He had 11 targets on go routes. 4 of them were caught, and all 4 were touchdowns. Efficiency, my friends, efficiency. If he's going to catch it, he's going to go. If he doesn't, tough shit. A lot of hitch routes. That's clearly the number one on this as far as just pure number. 33 hitch targets. 21 of those were caught for 286 yards. He had six in-route targets, 4 catches, 53 yards. You kind of get the point, but if you were looking at it, his bread and butter, the top 3, and the rating, we're going to ignore go routes because he did 11, like 4 out of 11 as far as catches to target is not amazing. Slants, he caught all targets to him and got 2 touchdowns. That is a perfect 158.3. I'll say out routes 100%. 6 out of 11 is definitely better than 4 out of 11. And then crossers and the crossing routes 7 out of 9. Fantastic. You can see what the Giants will want to do with him. But he is a very versatile weapon. And what they're going to hope, obviously, is that having him will then make it easier for Jalen Hyatt to step up his game. Obviously, you still have Darius Slayton up there. So what we are going to do is we're going to actually jump into the depth chart thing and just real briefly, and we will discuss. He's obviously wide receiver 1, pretty much coming right in. There was just really no question. You'll have Darius Slayton across and Wan'Dale Robinson in the slot. They signed Allen Robinson as a free agent. He will be a backup, obviously, of Jalen Hyatt coming into his second year. They're definitely hoping to see him step up. And then they signed Isaiah McKenzie. And you've got some other guys over here who have some experience. Obviously, Isaiah Hodgins, Miles Boykin. These guys have seen the field. So it's not a bad setup. They brought in guard help with John Runyon. Obviously, the Darren Waller situation is still a little bit up in the air. Don't really know what's going to go on there. They signed Drew Lock to back up Daniel Jones, which I think definitely improves their QB room a lot. Drew Lock did win some solid games last year in Geno Smith's absence. It will be interesting, though. There's a lot to watch here for the Giants. They obviously, Saquon Barkley left to the Eagles. They bring in Devin Singletary. I like Devin Singletary a lot, but his game is very different, and I think the Giants need to accept that is a bit of a downgrade, and just own that early on, come up with good game plans to use the talent groups that they do have. And the other thing I was going to share is this right here. So this is why I think Malik Nabers has a really, really damn good chance to get better at that, like, catch point physicality, the snap physicality. He has been training with NFL legend and overall badass Steve Smith. So if Malik Nabers is getting told to ice up all summer, preseason, and all that, I think you can safely bet he will be fully iced up and ready to go by the time the NFL season comes around. I love Steve Smith. I have worn his Panthers jersey on my podcast with my buddy Alex a few times. Probably one in my top 3 favorite receivers of all time. It's him, Larry Fitzgerald, and Calvin Johnson. And I'm an Eagles fan, but I respect the game of football. I love the game of football. Steve Smith did shit different. His physicality at that position was elite, and I miss having him around. So I'm glad to see he's still out here putting in some work, helping the young guys. So we're going to jump into some highlights, guys. We're going to jump in. Let's go ahead and share. And we will full screen it. Perfect.
Here's Daniels on 4th down. Right. Gonna launch it to the end zone. Nabers holds it in again.
He literally looked like he was walking.
Daniels is playing better.
And that guy tackled him out of bounds.
Here is Daniels. Look at the time he has, and he's got a man wide open.
God. Look at the
Here is Daniels.
Gap,
look at the time he has.
Hold on. Brother, he has 5 yards on his primary defender, and that safety is at the hash marks, and he's on the numbers. No one's close.
Got a man wide open.
He had to slow down, so he gets caught and tackled. And here's the other thing, that body catching thing we talked about.
Richardson
he fully turns and faces this and catches it.
He got it out early.
But he can't wear number 7 because he's an offensive tackle, so he's wearing the patch.
To then proceed
Daniels downfield and right into the arms of Malik Nabers.
Like that a lot more. So
2nd and 8. Daniels pulls it. He quickly gets it to Nabers, and Malik Nabers is off to the races. Touchdown. Pulls it. He quickly gets it to Nabers, and Malik Nabers is
that
off
acceleration.
To the races. Touchdown.
This is a football fast moment.
Developing as well.
Right there.
Pressure
Holy
the
moly.
It's picked up. Nussmeier going deep, and it is caught.
How was 8+ yards of separation for you? Is it good? All right.
But he doesn't need to. He needs to get it up and out. And right here, he's going to let the ball go.
Lord.
Right? Look at even need to. He needs to get it up and out. And right
I'm
here,
going left. Now
he's
going
going to
right.
let the ball go. Right? Look at even with the safety, but put a lot of air on it. Right? Instead of holding it, waiting for him to get open, and then ripping it on a line
even
drive.
with the safety, and the safety was facing the sideline, and Nabers is fully facing the end zone. It's chalked. Nice. That I like.
This is
catch like that. Turn your fucking body towards that ball as much as you want.
It's unfair. He goes outside or inside, then outside.
It made it so much easier for him. He probably lost every bit of air in his lungs on that.
One-on-one for Nabers. He's got it.
Daniels. We're going to see if he was in here, but it looked like he was to me. Here's the catch.
That was nice. All right, that was a spicy catch.
Daniels
up over the top of the CB, hands full extension, brought it back, secured it enough on himself to ensure that he would survive the ground.
Washington that is fundamental. This is a throw they haven't hit a bunch of early this season, but they hit that exact same play in this game last year on a 4th and
spot. Bring that ability to create explosive plays.
But on 1st down, it's an empty backfield. Daniels hits
right over the middle of the field. I wonder how much he would get.
That's a 1st down.
The answer, quite a lot. All right.
Diggs goes in motion. Daniels looking to the end zone. Wanted.
Goodbye. Yes, sir. Okay.
That's a great story to hear.
Yep, going.
And a laser.
I'm going to restart this play.
That's a great story to hear. And a laser beam shot to Malik Nabers.
Makes 1 miss, 2 miss.
Gets to the sideline.
Gets a block. Tiptoes for an extra 5. Very well done.
Daniels
it looks like a
gazelle. Off the seam for Nabers. Makes the catch. Breaks a tackle. Malik Nabers. Pulled down from behind.
Carried a man for like 5 yards. Like to see that.
Offensive line did their job, and then Daniels does his job, and then Malik Nabers turns the corner. And
his vision and ability to find defenders once he has the ball is also excellent too. I don't necessarily know how much I love the whole East-West thing that he's doing here.
Respect the game.
Because in the NFL, that will get punished a lot more than it will in college. Obviously, you want north-south. You want yardage gain with every step you're taking. In an ideal world, right? So the East-West, if you see an opening that you can't ignore, go for it. However,
that's safety. Which one of these guys
I think he would be better served trying to make the one guy close to him just miss.
Have to think.
In Alabama territory at the 43-yard line.
He is so athletically gifted and fast that the East-West is something that he clearly loves to try and do because he does have the confidence in himself to believe he's faster than anybody on that field.
None of them could have stopped that throw. I don't care if it was Matt Patrick.
However, I think in the NFL, they're going to have to cut back on that.
Over the center, Charles Turner. They roll the
like I said, this video is kind of easy because we know how talented he is. And you just see it, though. I mean, literally, like, let's see where he catches this, right on the 34. Makes one cut upfield and ends up on Florida's 36 in 5 seconds. Just blink of an eye. That was oh, baby. Nice stiff arm. Beautifully timed stiff arm. Didn't grab on, so you can't get him for a face mask, any of that crap. Fighting and fighting and fighting, and then there's a whistle eventually coming somewhere. Well done. And cut in, survives first contact, stiff arms the second guy, stiff arming that guy. He's kind of holding his face mask a little bit. That's probably a flag. However, love that he kept fighting there. I want to see that more. Because he isn't a huge guy, right? It's always good to see the little guy fight hard. And if you're the Giants, you need that. You don't want it, you need it. Absolutely need that. So,
just got to make sure he's reading things right and he's let the game come to him.
There's this one out against pressure, over the shoulder catch, Nabers, and he will take it inside the 25.
Sir, that's illegal. That is illegal. I don't care if you're playing Southern. When that ball was thrown, the two defensive backs were basically with him, right? And he just decides, nah, and gave himself plenty of space to just catch that with zero concern at all. Beautiful. I want to see the move. I like this camera angle. Doink! Oh my lord.
And a good job there by Jaden Daniels giving his wide receiver.
He has good timing. His jumps to catch balls are actually usually really well timed. It's just going to be a matter of body positioning. For him to not get hurt either. That's another. Like I might be an Eagles fan and he might be a Giant. I've said this before, I always say it. I will never ever cheer for somebody to get hurt, regardless of who it is, okay? I want to see Malik Nabers have just an insane year where you get to watch his highlights over and over again. I would love that. Not against the Eagles, that would suck. However, I like what I'm seeing. He has awareness of where he is, anywhere on the field, but especially the sideline. We've seen multiple toe taps to guarantee catches. Oh, the front flip. The front flip slide. Beautiful. Holy shit, he could have lit a campfire, roasted some marshmallows, sang Kumbaya back there. My goodness. And he just cuts right towards the middle of the field. Gets hit fucking hard. Bounces right up.
Shoulder contusion. He may return, guys. I'm going to go check on what's going on the LSU sideline.
All right, Jenny, thanks.
Oh, baby. Nice throw. I'm going to say nice throw. Better than the route that was run there.
Johnson flush, throws behind the line of
oh, lefty.
Deep open. That is caught for a touchdown.
It's a great job by Max Johnson to buy time and keep his eyes downfield. Really just throw a jump ball here down to Nabers, who came to this game and keep his eyes downfield.
He didn't really catch this shit, really. So because it hit the guy's helmet. It's not a hands issue. The timing of that, the defender arrived, the ball at his helmet, and he somehow got that back and caught it kind of in his crotch, which also impressive. See ya. All the way down to the 10. Fantastic. I'm impressed. I am impressed. I will be honest. I am impressed. This guy right here, pretty good. Yeah, if you're a New York Giants fan, Seriously, I know the Eagles robbed you of Devontae Smith a few years ago, but I think you got your guy. I do. Hand on heart, I think you got your guy. So, I'm looking forward to seeing this dude ball. I know I want to see if Daniel Jones can be the guy though to make it happen. Because obviously, if you gave this, he had Jaden Daniels in LSU for that 1 year, and the smoothness of those plays was very visible in that highlight reel. But we just honestly have to wait and see. This is that part of the year where it's like, oh, this on paper and this on paper. Paper doesn't play. Players do. So we shall see. However, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving it a like. If you'd like to see future videos, please consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, you will then be potentially notified of our podcast going live. And if you want to see VODs of the old ones, they're going to be right under the live tab on YouTube. And if you'd like to listen to the audio versions, please visit Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or just search Sideline Specialist Podcast on Google. All right. We will see you again very, very soon, everybody. Thank you very much.